my name is Aaron Falk, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about the United Nations today. Coincidentally, my last name is Falk, which is German, and as fate would have it, Germany would play a huge role in forming the United Nations. To understand this, we need to go back in time. To September 1st, 1939, to World War II, where German dictator Adolf Hitler used a form of fighting with tanks called Blitzkrieg to take Poland, and this marked the start of the most known war in history, World War II. And because of this, the United Nations was formed, because countries knew that they had to do something to not let this happen ever again, and so they formed the United Nations. In this informative, we will talk about the history of the United Nations, its impact on world politics, and its impact on recent wars. So first, the United Nations was established after World War II in an attempt to keep global security and international peace and trade with member nations. Its forerunner was the League of Nations, a organization conceived under similar circumstances following World War I. The United Nations' main purpose was to maintain international peace and security and to promote collective peace, and it was supposed to be more effective and inclusive at achieving its mandate. Its main purposes are outlined in the first UN Charter, which say maintaining international peace and security, achieving collective peace, and promoting human rights and also cooperation amongst member nations. Currently, there are 193 members in the United Nations that work to make the world a better place. The United Nations has a lot of they like human rights, and one thing they do for humanitarian aid is UNICEF, which used to be known as the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, and they help the kids avoid exploitation, abuse, and the effects of climate change, and it also provides them with many things such as vaccines. And in fact, the UNICEF is the biggest producer of vaccines, and it helps maintain world peace. Now that we've mentioned this prestigious United Nations history, we can go on to its impact on world politics. The United Nations is a political and diplomatic organization that impacts world politics in many ways. It helps with free and fair elections. Free and fair elections that are supposed to be credible, transparent, and fair and inclusive. Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Is that part of your speech?
Yes. Yes, just. Oh, okay, well this tape's gone. Right.
You're
So
not.
it's supposed to give fair elections that are more transparent, credible, and inclusive. It's basically the United Nations gives services, training, logistics, and other electoral assistance. The United Nations also helps with peacekeeping. It keeps peace in other countries, global peace. To be able to do this, it rescues civilians. It deploys enemy combatants to the places that are in conflict, and it also helps with constitutional processes. It promotes constitutional processes. Additionally, the United Nations has a lot of human rights. In fact, the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights is part of international law and is often invoked by many of the member states. The United Nations also promotes economic and social development, and the Student Council actually can use any measures necessary to maintain international peace and security or restore international peace and security. And since its birth on October 24th, 1945, the United Nations has been called upon to end many wars, many conflicts, and to hold more elections. Now, my third point about impact on recent wars. The United Nations has had immense impact on recent wars, including the war in Ukraine. So it's spent $551 million care package just recently, and it's helped send trillions of dollars to Ukraine to help evacuate citizens, particularly on the Sea of Mariupol, I think that's how you pronounce it. So it's been helping a lot, and it also pays for Ukrainian immigrants to go to Hungary, Romania, and Slovakia, and other neighboring nations. It donates a lot of money as it has in the past. For example, the Cold War, they had donations there as well. And all in all, they just give money to the people and put the citizens' views first. So all in all, the United Nations is a prestigious group that has a good history of forming after World War II to prevent it from happening again. Its impact on world politics are immense because of elections and peacekeeping and social and economic development, whilst also coordinating nations to achieve common goals, and because it helps a lot in impact on recent wars. So thank you for listening.